Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's apocalypse time. We are
Yay!
apocalypsing. So Domino approaches the bar. She's pushing her way through the crowd. It's busy in here tonight. The fight between Amy and Lamprey is just about over. Someone nearby has convinced Lamprey that it's maybe time to stop getting punched in the face. And so that's happening. And and we see Domino pushing her way through the crowd towards you. So Dice, I think in this case you're the one kind of setting the tone. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I mean, if she's coming towards me and I haven't seen her for a while, and she and I don't know where she went, it's not necessarily a bad thing that she's coming. But this is someone I haven't seen for a while, so I'm naturally a little bit cautious of the fact that like people have been betraying me.
Yeah. Yeah, she's got her hair pulled back in like cornrows. She's got some kind of like dark like soot or like makeup or something around her eyes. And like I said, she's got her helmet under one hand. She's got her like coat on, her sleeveless camo coat, and and she's making her way through the crowd. And she's just like looking towards. She's not trying to make eye contact with you, but she's looking at the bar with a look of some purpose on her face.
I think if this is if this were a movie and there were like shots to be had here, there'd be one from like a behind the bar perspective, like over my shoulder.
Yeah.
With like Tynant there, and under the bar you can see the shotgun like that's like right there, and one of my hands is sort of on the bar like relaxed, like tapping along, and the other one is like swoop, like sort of down below just in case I need to grab it real quick and blast an asshole.
Okay. So I think Tynan, you can see that balance. Like you're not really trying to hide it necessarily, Dice. But Tynan can see that kind of balance of like tension. Like,
yeah, I mean, there's sort of like the casual like conversation continues, but my attention is like definitely on this new person.
And yeah, I just like have the glass at my lips and my eyes are just like locked with yours.
Yeah.
So I take a sip and put it down because I'm ready for like something that's happening behind.
Yeah. Yeah, like you haven't looked, but you know something's going on, sort of thing. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, Domino walks up to the bar, and there's a stool that was previously occupied by a person, but now no longer is, as Domino approaches and like moves the person away. She sits down and puts her helmet on the bar. Sits down next
in the
to
same.
you.
So like, is she on my left or my right?
She's on the left of you.
So yeah, like it's like her helmet, me, my hat.
Yeah.
At the bar. Yeah.
Totally. So
Domino, nice to see ya.
She kind of just like squints at you. Her eyes flick behind you to the wall where all the booze is.
Nothing? Not gonna say anything? After so long, old friends reunited. What can I get you?
She just shrugs. She looks at Tynan's drink.
You got a vessel?
Yeah, I think she's got like a tin like mug attached to like some like belt or something she's got on. She like clips it off and like puts it on the bar.
And not that I don't trust you or nothing, but you got something worth a drink?
Yeah, I think what's something that people pay you in? Like, is there a local like script or something in Templetown, or does it give you shit for it?
I mean, there's sort of like a barter economy going on. I'm sure there's like some kind of like these are the Templetown like representations of currency sort of thing, but I
Okay, well, as a group, yeah, what do they use?
What is our most common medium of exchange?
Yeah.
Because Bill's a civilized mayor, and he believes in...
he wants like money.
Yeah, there's some kind of like currency in at least in Templetown. What do they use?
I don't know.
It would have to be something that there's lots of
like spent bullets. I know.
Difficult to forge.
So you could do the thing where there's like shitty post-apocalyptic ammunition, and we trade in the like legit good bullets.
Yeah. Maybe.
Or like spent shells that have been like stamped down and like have some kind of like stamp on them.
Like there's a specific like minting process sort of thing. Like
very cheap and quick.
In terms of like a stamp.
Stamped bits of scrap metal, and it's not the thing itself, but the press that's highly guarded. I like that.
That's probably what it is.
And it's I think that like a lot of the time people use like spent shells, they use that. So it's known colloquially as brass.
Yeah.
Okay, so currency.
Yeah, that works. I like that.
Called brass, and it's like, the press.
Yeah, and up at the temple, we collectively have a small stash of it, but we don't fuck with that stuff normally.
Yeah, that's not like your usual currency.
Sometimes people give it to you and you keep it, but you don't like.
Yeah, and then we'll have some to use if we need to use it, but.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, so she fishes around in one of the like pockets and puts some brass on the table.
All right. I scoop it and
it's enough to keep her drinking like the whole night, basically.
Yeah. All right. And I scoop it and
it's just like bottle on the table.
Pocket it, and I just take the full what do you call it, the Listerine bottle, from the bag, and just there you go.
Okay.
It's full of like this sort of clear, sort of almost yellow liquid, which could be like some kind of badly manufactured bathtub, like alcohol of some kind.
And they call it rat piss.
Yeah, rat piss. Yeah, that works for me.
Cool. So you notice that Domino has around her neck one of those like ball chain things, and there's a bunch of like dirt crusted dog tags hanging from them, like probably like a dozen of them. Yeah, just like hanging at because they would all collect and like hang in the middle.
So where you been spending your time? I want to make a note that I haven't taken my eyes off her since we started, but I'm trying to keep it like casual, So like when I reach back, I don't turn around all the way to like get the thing. Like I'm clearly sort of making sure that she's not doing anything like suspicious. I would like to read her if possible.
Sure. Yeah, you can certainly try.
Yeah, let's try. That's cool, right? I think it's cool.
For reading sharp.
Oh, it's sharp? Okay. Well, perfect.
Okay.
8.
All right, sure. So you can ask any of those questions at any point during your conversation with her.
Okay.
In which she hasn't said anything yet.
Yeah, she's not said anything, which is kind of a like, I don't know. What's she intending to do? That's what I want to know.
So you're just gonna like watch her while she drinks?
Like I'm looking for something to.
Is she here to drink?
Is she here to party? Is she here to get away from her troubles? Is she here to shoot me and rob the place? Like I'm looking for that kind of read.
Sure. So what does she intend to do? It's really loud in here, right? Like the music and the sounds of the fight and the shouting and everything. Like it's not a place to have a conversation. Right now, she seems to be waiting that out.
Okay, so she's just like drinking the night out is what you're.
Yeah. She's drinking slowly. Like she doesn't drink the whole thing in one go. Like she pours herself a glass, drinks some of it, and then just kind of like, pulls the collar up on her coat and like hunches up against the bar and just kind of like sits. And like she's definitely looking around. But
she would recognize a couple of the people here. Like Wall is obviously going to be.
Yeah, she had to talk to Wall to get in, right?
Yeah,
like Wall let her in.
Yeah.
So maybe he knows more about why she's here. But it was enough for. I mean, he might be dead. He might be in a dumpster somewhere outside.
That's possible,
right? She's inside, and so Wall, if he's doing his job, it's okay, it's safe. But that depends on how much you trust Wall.
I think I'm gonna make eye contact with Dice. And I like turn my eyes, like motion my head to Domino, and I'm basically like I raise my eyebrows, and I'm basically asking like, do you want me to help you read her, sort of thing, like.
And I give you just like the slight sort of You know, like eyebrow move of like that's what you're supposed to do. You know, like
What do I feed
like,
you for?
duh.
like what do I feed you for exactly?
So Brace is gonna like definitely not the traditional way. She's just gonna like kind of like slide down a very shaky like pillar or something. Like she's doing something that's like she's calling attention to herself a bit.
Sure. I mean, normally, maybe not in a place like this now, right?
Maybe
like
not.
Yeah, you
people
probably
nearby.
you
Just
probably
this
get
is
a
the way
little
that
like
I move. I want.
yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing: you get to the bottom of the banister that connects the mezzanine to the floor, and you come face to face with Princey and Ferris, right? They seem to be on their way out, but the job is definitely not done. And the two of you, like Ferris, you and Brace, kind of like have a moment there where you see each other. Princey stops and just like stares kind of like helplessly at Brace.
And I like tilt my head and I give him like I'm just like, hello, small person that is easily manipulated. But I'm also like, yes, I do owe Dice something for being here. So I'm like pausing, but definitely like in the process of like I would move on if he doesn't do something.
Princey, use your words. Use your mouth words. What? You've not told me, and now...
Yeah, Princey is
I
like
love Ferris already.
Deer in the headlights. Like, there's something going on. Like, Princey has stopped, and there's something happening between Brace and Princey here that has caused Princey to freak out a little.
Okay, I'm just going to read him. I know him fairly well.
Sure.
Like, what's going on here? You're not telling me, so let's find out.
Okay.
Okay, so what I will want to ask him is... what's your character really feeling? Or what are you feeling, Princey?
Terrified. Totally terrified. Terrified something horrible is about to happen to him. Why, what did you do, Brace, to him or someone that he knows? What did he see you do or have you do to him? Why is he so fucking scared of you?
I think that I might have done something to his father.
Oh, you're like, you're in it, hey?
To Bill? Damn.
Yeah. I
Okay.
think that like I mean I could attempt to at this point like do some past in-brain puppet strings and see what happened. Maybe?
Do like a quick flashback roll?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think the thing there is that, like, you know, I don't. What do you still have to get like contact with Bill to like make that happen?
Like physical, yeah, I need to touch him.
Okay, I don't think it's that because I don't think you would have. Everybody knows you're a weirdo, and Bill has security, so you wouldn't have had that opportunity. You could try to go for it at some point, but you haven't yet.
Yeah, I just feel like he's probably seen me do something that wasn't normal, and might have like hurt somebody.
Okay, I mean, I like the idea of you kind of like working your way into Bill's like situation, so there's some connection there. So he's just seen you around, and that makes him uncomfortable.
Yeah, like there's a spot that sort of opened up on Bill's kind of like circle of people, and yes, that's probably at the same time that Brace started coming down more often into Templetown or something.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think that, everybody's been, a lot of people have been talking to Brace, trying to be like, hey, so you want to come and like help me with my shit? And Bill's got his shit together. He's got all the brass. So yeah, maybe Princey is just terrified of you because of who you are and the fact that you've been around like his family and like the mayor's house or whatever, more.
And I look really weird.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe he's a sensitive guy, so he picks up on your weird vibe.
I think that I would like I'm gonna go over to Dice, but like I see like his like deer in the headlights look, and I like see Ferris be like, "The shit, man," and I like reach out my hand and I don't touch him, but I like brush some hair out of his face, And it's definitely the gloved hand, but I don't like touch him.
I think if you reach towards him, he like jerks back like away from you and steps into Ferris, right? Like he backs into you hard.
And then I like laugh and I go to the bar.
Okay. When you turn around, when you turn your back on Princey, Ferris, you can hear Princey talking either to you or to himself, and he's just like fuck, and like he's kind of like shaking a little bit.
That's not. I mean, I'm not intimately familiar with that, but that's not how it happens. You don't just say it, and you have to tell her like.
And he looks over his shoulder and he's like, "Shut up, weirdo! Come on!" And he like picks up the bag and starts moving through the crowd again. I think at this point we see the side shot of the cage being opened, and Lamprey being kind of like dragged semi-conscious out while Amy is doing the whole like, yeah, fucking I'm awesome, covered in Lamprey's blood. People are cheering, and
covered in lamprey.
Some of them are booing. A bunch of people though are like consoling Lamprey and treating him like he somehow won like a different fight that Amy didn't realize they were right. Like they're like, yeah, good job, man, and like giving him drinks, and he's just like his whole face is all swollen, like from getting punched with barbed wire.
Lamprey, you dumbass.
They got him on a stool, and like somebody's like wiping him off with like a dirty rag, and he's just kind of like nodding and being like, like mumbling through his like bruised face.
I mean, he'd be super fucking punch drunk at this point.
Oh yeah, he doesn't even know where he is, but people keep giving him drinks and stuff, so he's
Did I eat all the material?
Yeah, totally. Cool. So we see that as Brace, you make your way over to the bar.
Okay, so I'm gonna come up. If Dice lets me, I would come up like behind the bar and like stand next to her. Would Dice like allow Brace to do that?
Yeah, I think it would be all right for you too, though I'm not entirely sure I'd let you behind the bar is the thing.
Okay, well then
kind of a secure location, so to speak, employees only.
In front of the bar, on the seat. So Tynant's like on one side, and then Domino,
and then you,
and then me. And I'm basically gonna like I need to get eye contact with Domino. So.
I basically go as you sit down. I go, Brace. Domino, you remember Brace, Domino, like one of those sort of moments. Yeah. She was working with me back when the gang was together for a little while, at the very least.
Brace, Domino gives you a look like she wants to cut your face off and wear it as a mask.
Okay.
That's the information that's conveyed to you by this momentary glance.
Then I'm gonna I want to get her to stop being like silent but deadly. I want her to like reveal her motivations in the same way like when Dice read a person, but I want her to like say it. Would that be, I don't know if in-brain puppet strings would do that. I could plant a command if it's successful, right? And that would be to like, that could be to like tell us what you know sort of thing, or?
Yeah, you could just ask. You could be like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Which no one's done yet. But also, yes.
Well, I mean, I've talked to her trying to initiate conversation. But...
So Tynant is going to butt in at this point because introductions happened and I got left out. And so this like huge hand that comes into Domino's field of vision. I'm Tynant. Nice to meet you.
She puts her comparatively much smaller hand out to shake yours. And she just mumbles. She's like, I know who you is.
Good. Yeah, so I do the like meaty crushing handshake thing, and then go back to my drink, take a sip.
She looks at it and then looks at you. She's like, I thought you only drank water.
Well, I put my pants on one leg at a time, just like you.
She looks down. She's wearing a skirt.
Whatever.
Yeah. But she looks down and looks at you and kind of nods like, yeah, okay. I don't understand really what that means, but in some way we're the same.
I think while this is going on, like this is 3 customers at the bar sort of thing, and they've all been served basically, except Brace. But Brace, like she's not gonna drink like the typical stuff, I imagine.
Probably not, no.
So like while this is going on, this like Tynant domino interaction, I sort of slide down and deal with like some other guy at the other end, or what have you.
Yeah.
So once
I do the thing that I do in real life, where I kind of put my hand up and I'm just like, "Yep,
I'm going over here now."
Yep. We need to, and I do it in sign language. I do. We need to leave.
You say that to you're signaling that to Dice?
Yeah, and okay. I sort of like wave you over first, like when you're like, oh, we're going now, because I assume you're done, basically, like we're leaving, like wave you over.
Okay,
and take
my little friend Princey is still very nervous.
So here's the thing, that when Dice comes over, Princey does this thing you've seen him do before, where he puts on his "I'm doing an impression of my dad" thing, not in a like, haha, here's a funny impression of my dad, but in a like, Mayor Bill is the way that you act when you're important, and I'm the son of the mayor, and Dice is a business owner in my constituency, ergo I have to like, so you see it, and I don't know, Ferris, how you pick this up, but maybe it's physiological changes, but you see him like straighten up and kind of like stick his chest out a little, and like his body, his posture changes as Dice comes over. And
I take some brass out of my pocket and sort of hand it to you like, hey, good job. Thanks for fixing that for me.
Yeah, we are we need to go, but we're not quite done. It's not gonna fall down, but like it might.
Yeah, so as you're stumbling over it, Princey says, yeah, we're gonna have to shore up a couple of those beams, and you're gonna want to keep people off of that, and like looks over at Brace. And he's like, at least for the time being, we've got a few more days of work to do. And hey, and like there's the brass on the counter, and he like pushes a couple back, and he's like, we were just on our way out, but I'll take one for the road. And it gives you like a wink.
I like reach over and like give him a pat on the shoulder, sort of thing, because it's like a cute kid, like if the job's not done. I like put my hand on like the rest of the brass and like scoop it back towards me, like, flip a couple in my fingers and like tuck them back away. Mm-hmm. Like, if the job's not done, don't pay me with my own money.
And he says,
my own brass.
Yeah, he's like, look, we did look, like it's obvious, and to you, Ferris, like you can see that it's much safer than it was a few hours ago.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and he just says, like, we did some work.
Yeah, that's not how it works, is it? Like, clearly a very sensible method to not pay people until a thing's done. Otherwise, we'd end up with the building like it was before, where it's about to fall down. Because
there you go. Listen to your boss, kid. You can't pay people for work until the work is done.
And he sighs and it's like, fine, and he like reaches into his coat, and he pulls out, I think he's got like a raincoat that he put on as he was leaving. I mean, it's patched in several places with like silver like duct tape. He reaches into it, and he takes out a couple of pieces of brass and puts them on the counter. They got a big like B on them, B for brass, but really B for Bill. And
yeah,
puts them on the counter. He like he explicitly doesn't hand them to you. He just like puts them on the counter, and he's like, it's fine. I got my own money.
All right, well, good then. I grab another bottle from behind me, a bottle that has a self-made like Sharpied on label, basically, that says Templeton Sunrise on it.
Okay.
And it's orangey.
You're not gonna make him a Shirley Templeton?
No, it's orangey in like color, and sort of a little bit congealed in consistency.
Nice.
And it tastes like if you mixed gasoline with like out of date orange juice.
Nice. Oh, that kind of gross, like moldy taste.
Yeah, exactly.
But then also gasoline. Cool. All right. I mean, he'll drink it. And there's enough there for one for Ferris too.
And I serve him one up.
And Ferris, you got your like mask on and stuff. Do you take it off to drink, or do you do the like roadhog and like vaporize it through a thing?
Oh no!
Or do you just say no at all, like altogether?
Yeah. I think maybe it's why we're not always on the best terms, even though we do business.
You never want to drink.
I don't drink.
All right. So I knowing that I don't pour one out for you. So
I'm sure that's like a point of contention for you. Like you can't like the whole. You can't.
Yeah. It's like you don't drink. People who don't drink are weird and untrustworthy. Yeah, exactly. But you're my favorite too because you do stuff for me and you know how business works. You know. So I'm like, all right, well, you gotta head out. Go ahead. I got plenty of stuff to do, and we gotta clean up the ring a little bit after the fight. You see, like Litz or something has got like a mop that hasn't seen water in like 7 years or something, like mopping blood with blood.
I think,
you know,
yeah,
like,
I think it's. So I think that job is below Litz. That's maybe Boz's job. Litz is Litz is the hype person. All
right, that's cool.
Litz is hype, and the other one they have like they have like a particular outfit they wear with like a little bow tie, and they like slick their hair back with like motor oil, and they have this very specific like thing to get people like hyped up, and so they're currently in the post show like getting everybody excited about this new person, this Amy, but like really like making deals to be like, yeah, you got to come back, like you're good at this shit. And Lamprey took a solid beating. We'd like to see that again. Litz considers themselves kind of a like the talent manager for your bar, even though you've never asked them to do that.
I love it though. I love it. Free work basically. Like he's doing stuff I would pay him for, but I'm not paying him. You know, basically. Okay. Cool. All right. Yeah. So Boz mopping up blood with blood, basically,
just smearing it around a little.
He's a little simple, you know. He's a little simple guy.
I mean, I think he's probably just high all the time. Right?
Yeah.
Like you pay him in supplies.
You should pay him in drugs.
Yeah, he's just kind of gooned out. Cool. Okay.
And so to Domino, I'm just like, what brings you to town this evening?
Domino doesn't want to answer that question. That's not what she says. She just doesn't want to answer. You can tell immediately.
Does she say anything?
She mumbles something, but you can't pick out any of it if it ever was words to begin with.
Personal then. That's fine. I like sip my drink a little more. I'm running out.
Yeah. You've got like a tiny shot glass full of like the actual not shit whiskey, you know, like.
And I've got like one proper sip left.
Yeah. Savor it. You know. But yeah, I guess like unless anybody else has actions that they want to perform, like I'm gonna wait this out. Like I'm gonna spend the rest of the night sort of like dealing with everything I have to deal with.
Yeah.
For like an hour.
I have one thing I want to do now, and then we can cut to like several hours later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I feel like Brace feels obligated to like do what you were like. You're like, hey, Brace, like, yeah, this is what.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you've got something else you wanna do.
Yeah. If she's like, Tynant came out and asked her what she's doing here, and she's just like, I don't think that Brace is the type of person that would try to get something out of conversation. I think that she would just like attempt to touch the back of Domino's neck with her gloved hand and puppet stringer.
Okay. I mean, I think you'll have to act under fire, right? And the fire here is Domino's inherent. Like,
Domino wants to eat your face.
Yeah, Domino is very distrustful of you and very aware of where you're standing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's a thing. Yeah, the fire is the Domino reacts poorly to being touched.
Of course she would.
So you're going to have to roll. Yeah, roll plus cool. If that's what you want to do. You know the consequences. This will go badly if you fail.
Well, yeah, but I feel like Brace is like, that's the thing. That's why she's here. That's Dice is caring for her, and she succeeds partially.
Okay. So on what's a 7 and 9 for your. This is act under fire first. This is the one I get to tell you. Okay, so you're trying to do something under fire. Flinch, hesitate, or stall. I can offer you a worse outcome, a hard bargain, or an ugly choice. The ugly choice here is that you can open up your connection to Domino, but it's going to be two ways. And the bad thing Domino brought with her to town is you're gonna get a little in you. She's not. There's an uncleanness to Domino that you, if you want to get at her and plant those puppet strings, you're gonna have to let that in too.
So, in terms of like gameplay, is this something that Brace understands? Like she sees that, or is this me as a player making a choice for my character?
Like a little of both, but I think Brace definitely feels like the
Something's
gamble.
Wrong.
There's a tingle. There's a like, oh, that's not something.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that is kind of like enough, like that, like. I just want to know like how much information like did she get? Is she just like this feels weird, or is she like, oh shit, something's in this girl?
You just feel a moment of hesitation.
Then she would probably still do it.
Okay. I have to make a note about something. Excuse me a moment.
And totally me.
This has nothing to do with anything. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine.
What happens when you miss that move, Butcher?
On a miss, you inflict 1 harm upon your subject to no benefit.
Oh, good. It's just getting worse and worse.
No, shit.
So she just gets hurt.
Cool. And I get to make a move, which is fun too. Okay. You both take 1 harm.
Okay.
Domino feels your hand on the back of her neck. Starts just pushes away from the bar. Tynan, you see all this happening. You're a bit further away, Ferris and Dice. But she like jumps at being touched as if she was like stung or something. The chair gets knocked over. Nobody else notices because like somebody getting hyped.
This is pretty typical. To
not a big deal. She grabs her neck and then staggers forward, knocks her drink over. Puts her hand on the bar, and yeah, there's just like blood just like dripping out of her nose onto the bar. For you, I need you to make Bryce. I need you to make the harm move, so we see how.
So what does this? What does this do? What do I do?
So the harm move is just 2d6, and the amount of harm that you got. And you want to fail this, so it's 2d6
plus 1.
Yeah.
5.
Okay, good. So you're fine. You just take the harm, right?
Okay.
So what does the harm look like for you? It's feedback, right? It's your own energy like shunting back into you.
A player character can take up to 12 harm, right?
No. I mean that each one harm is a filled in.
Oh, so
box.
the 3 is 1 harm.
You've now gone from 12 to 3. Yeah, you're at 3 o'clock harm.
Okay. I didn't realize what the harm thing was. Okay, so I feel like it's like an intense, like sharp, like headache. That like it's like a vibrating, a shock that goes up her arm, and then there's just like a really like when high pitched noises that no one else can hear, but they like ring in your head.
Yeah.
It's that.
Yeah. Okay. So Tynan, you have a second to do something, but you can already see Domino's face going from shock to anger. And she's starting to like turn. And I think that we see from your perspective, we can see like under her left arm, like in her armpit, there's a big ass pistol. Whether she's reaching for it or not, she hasn't decided yet, but she's turning around pissed off.
Yeah. Can I just like interpose myself and grab both of them and just like lift them off the ground because they're both tiny?
If you want to, if you want to touch Brace, I guess that's a thing you could do.
I'll give a fuck.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just want to like take control of this like scuffle by force.
Absolutely. Yeah. Which is to say you're going to do harm to both of them in doing so.
Yeah. So I'm going to like slam Domino and like hold her against the bar and then just grab Brace probably by her waist in my hand and just like lift her up, and probably like she ends up getting like banged against something in the like low ceiling. Mm-hmm. But I'm just like
Okay, so you roll to seize by force. and then Brace can decide if she wants to interfere.
Okay.
Cool. So.
Okay. So you got an 8, you had a partial success. And then interfere is, so you could make this a failure if you want to, Brace. You could not be seized by force. If you,
okay, so what's my like reaction choice? Like what?
So you can interfere, which is to say you try not to get grabbed by force.
Which
help
would
or interfere with someone who's making a roll.
You roll with the hex. Yeah. So what's your hex with Tynant Swift?
With Tynant, it's +3.
Okay. All right. So you're good. You're slippery when it comes to Tynant. So Tynant, I'm imagining Tynant as like I keep thinking of like Kingpin or like alternating between like size-wise Kingpin, not like this sort of simplicity.
But if you've seen Deadwood, George Hurst's bodyguard is an appropriate like body animal.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just like huge, like not fast, but just like there's a bunch of muscle and then a bunch of fat on top of that and just like crush.
Nice.
Great.
So
you get that
I
+3.
succeed.
Blue Jays crushes it.
Which means that Tynant, because of your interference, Tynant grabs neither of. There is no seizure by force. So what do you do to interfere? Is it just that you're slippery? You can read Tynant. You know this is coming. Like
I feel like she would hear the thought in my head of like what I was about to do.
Yeah, I know that you would try and like diffuse the situation, being who you are, I guess. And so I think I know that you know that if I touch you, I'll do something. So I like put my gloved hand out to stop you.
Oh, and I have to just like duck the hand.
Yeah.
yeah, right. Because it's like it's on fire. Don't touch the hand. The hand is hot lava.
Yeah. So I'm like, you know what I can do, and I know you won't touch me if you have to touch my hand to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I was like going to like grab your head or whatever, and I just have to be like, oh, okay.
So what's great about this is that it's still a fail, so I still get to make a move. And I think the move is you're focused on each other now for a moment, Tynant and Brace, and that's when you hear Domino be like, "Don't touch me, bitch!" And like her fist comes swinging towards your face, Brace.
Of course.
So yeah, I mean, I think she socks you in the face. You take another harm. Let's see if she's trying to like knock you to the floor so she can keep punching you. But you don't get the impression this is personal. It's just she doesn't like you to begin with, and you tried to touch her, and she doesn't like being touched. Mm-hmm. Like it's not like you tried to mind fuck me. This is just a like, cool, we're gonna fight because you touched me and I didn't want you to.
Mm-hmm. This is the normal response.
She thinks you like stabbed her or tasered her or something, right? Because she had that like sudden shock.
Honestly, this is pretty typical for this location.
Well, okay, but here's the thing though. There is violence in your bar, but what are the rules? Like, if you want to fight, you got to do it in the cage, or?
I mean, pretty much, and no guns.
Sure, yeah, she hasn't drawn a gun yet. This isn't a murder offense, right? Like, she's not a PC. She's not gonna go for the gun right away. She's just like, you touch me. Don't fucking touch me. We're gonna fight now.
If people see that she's like socking Brace and it's gonna turn into a fist fight. I mean,
Domino doesn't want it to be a fist fight. She wants it to be a beating.
But the response would generally be like, well, you can sort it out. It's totally right there. You know, like kind
sure,
of
but people aren't going to get involved and be like, no fighting.
I mean, yeah, they're not going to get involved. Sure. Like, unless it turns into a murder, in which case, like, you know, that's different.
Does Mayor Bill have rules about murder in Templetown? Are you not allowed to just kill people that you don't like?
I think
this is a question to the table. Like,
I feel like there's probably a certain degree of like your house, your rules.
Ferris, you know Templetown better than anybody. Even though you're kind of outside of it, you've been around longest, I think. What is the deal? Like, does Bill have like Bill's rules, and these are the 6 rules that Bill has set forward for his people?
The commandments of Bill.
Yeah, Bill's rules, totally. You gotta live by Bill's rules, or you gotta get the fuck out of Templetown. Is murdering one of Bill's like no-nos?
I mean, unlicensed, yeah. You buy a you buy a grudge license if you need to sort it out.
So awesome.
Yeah, totally. That is exactly the kind of bullshit that would go
A
down.
grudge license?
Dave,
Yeah.
have I told you lately how much I love you? This is so good. You have to buy a grudge. That's good, right? Yeah. If you want to kill somebody, you gotta buy it from Bill's.
Buying off the cops is just a law.
It's like a
It's a law,
legit
yeah.
thing you do, yeah.
Totally.
That's how corrupt the town is.
Sure. Yeah. And it's not. There's no just like murder or not. It's just like, did you pay for it? Okay, cool. We won't get you.
I imagine I get a lot of questions about that because people would assume I have money. You know what I mean? Like I've got brass. I own a building. You know, basically, like so like people could easily be like, "Yo, I want to kill this other guy, but I need money
Totally.
for the."
Yeah, grudge loans for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah,
can
you totally do. You totally do that. You have that area that is licensed, and you're like, all right, fine. You can't afford it, like on the legit. You can come and fight them in here,
and try to
Yeah.
kill them, even though it's technically not like a part of the
Technically,
rules.
it's against
Yeah.
the rules. It's frowned upon, but
If someone dies, it's
They
not
might-
anybody's fault, and you didn't have to
Yeah,
pay
they
for the
might
grudge
get-
license.
it might accidentally get like electrified.
oh,
They-
At the
yeah.
wrong time.
Man, stuff goes bad all the time.
So obviously you're kicking back to Bill pretty hardcore on that because that
Oh, yeah,
there is
sure.
a loophole, but you pay
Sure.
him enough that he's like, it's like insurance basically. It
Yeah.
doesn't happen that often, but if it does, he doesn't get screwed out of his money.
Yeah.
Is it a saying in town that you got to pay the bills?
Yes.
Just like recontextualized in this
Yes.
one.
Absolutely. That's where, yeah.
And it's-
that's-
That
pay
being
your
a
bill.
thing is part of how Bill is just like, right? This is how the world used to work. You got to pay the bills.
Evidently.
Look at all these papers called bills.
Yeah.
So is this like, are we now using battle moves?
So we're gonna snap back to you getting punched in the face. So roll the harm move with a +1. Do you have any armor
Let's
on?
be clear on what's happening here. Also, battle is bigger and
Yeah,
messy.
battle would be like if the whole room became a fight.
For
like
the
made sides and was firing at each other.
No, I probably don't have any armor on.
Okay, yeah. So you just get socked in the eye or whatever. You take a hard fist to the face. Take 1 harm and then roll. Roll +1. 2d6 +1.
Is it plus
2d6
one or
plus
since
one?
she's taken 2? Is it
It's just the harm you're taking.
The harm
now.
you're taking now. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Which is why like 3s are terrible. Like you-
Mhm.
Okay.
There you go. All right. So you don't fall. You don't like. She just bam, like right across. Snaps your head to the side. Your eyes go all blurry. There's the shock of pain, and when you look back, she's just like got her hands up, like, "Well, you want another one? Like, fucking touch me."
I like
hey, whoa,
I'm
whoa,
like
whoa,
looking
whoa.
back at dice and I'm like,
Yeah, and like in this time that this punch has been thrown and like shit's going on and Tynan has done stuff.
I mean,
and-
it's been all of like 3 seconds, pretty much.
but that's what I mean. Like the stuff has happened, and I was talking to Ferris and
Princey.
Princey, but then immediately from like the scuffle, smash, drink over, you know, like I'm sliding down the bar, like, you know, quickly, like just running down, or not running, but like, you know what I mean, like getting back into view, sort of thing.
Okay.
Like whoa, none of that. You want to do that? It's in there. Basically, like pointing at the cage, and I'm like trying to get them to stop.
Yeah, Domino's ignoring you and just focused like very heavily on what Brace is going to do.
Okay, it's about Brace.
It's totally about Brace. Yep.
well, I don't usually fail at things. Grace doesn't she doesn't deal with reactions in this way that often. Usually people do what she wants them to. In her mind, at least she only remembers those times. So she, like, I want to not be in a fight with this person.
So you're trying to
I
like
don't fight
defuse it.
people. So like, is there a way to like, what I do? Would I like,
Do you just run away?
what's my, I guess,
Yeah,
like,
you tell me what your character does, and we'll figure out if there's any reason to pick
We
up.
might not need to roll.
Yeah.
Might not-
I want to like be like, hey, dice, like, this is part of the deal. Like, you're supposed to look out for me.
And I mean, I am interposing myself in the way that I'm, you know, I can at this point in time without escalating to like I'm pulling the shotgun out from under the, you know, under the bar. but it looks very much like, if you're looking to me, it looks very much like I want you to be like, don't do anything, like either leave or, whatever. Like the face that you read off of me is just like, this didn't go the way we wanted it to, abort, basically.
Okay, so I guess Brace would just like back off, raise her hands in the air, and just like try to get out of like physical combat space with Domino.
Yeah, like as soon as okay, so you've seen this behavior like a million times, Dice, right? Like all Domino is doing is being like, I'm bigger and tougher and stronger than you. Don't fuck with me. You gonna try and fuck with me? Make me prove it again. And when Brace is like backing away, tail between her legs, proverbially, Domino's like, yeah, basically like, yeah, damn right, I win. We've established who's the bigger dog here. Get the fuck out of here, right? Like,
resumes her seat.
Yeah, she doesn't like, it doesn't become a fight. She doesn't turn her back on Brace. But do you leave Brace, or do you just kind of like back away? How far do you go?
I mean, I don't want to leave the room because Tynant's still here and I don't know why. And also Dice is like the person that I know here. So if I leave Dice, like I don't have necessarily anywhere else to like cower, as it were. Mm-hmm. So I'm probably just going to like go away from the bar, maybe to where like Ferris and them were like fixing things before. But like, just like, I don't know, I'm basically like licking my wounds, as it were.
Yeah, so you make it clear you've surrendered and you back away.
Yeah.
Just to help out with that, Tynan, after all this like scuffling went down, I just like drained the last little sip out of my glass, put it upside down on the table, and have like put my hat on, and I'm just walking out the door.
Okay. All right. So once things got like even a little bit like heated around like Domino, Princey, drink unfinished, Ferris tried to like usher you out, try to be like, okay, we're gonna go. Did you go along, or did you stick around to watch Brace get punched in the eye?
No, I
just right on your cheekbone.
I think. Yeah, like I value Princey's like judgment on stuff, so I'm just like, yeah, sure, and especially since it's people and like, if something bad was going to happen, and then I don't know, I'll follow him.
Okay. Yeah, so we just cut right to outside, and the two of you, you're standing outside. It's night. I think that it's overcast or like rainy pretty much most of the time. General sogginess is like a thing that happens to people around here. But you can't drink the rain. The rain is bad. It is bad water. Water from the sky will kill you. Don't drink it. Stay out of puddles. Don't let your kids play in it. It will kill you. Just stay the fuck away from that shit. So I think that there are tarps that have been like strung together, and they go from one place to another, right? So
that's awesome.
Instead of roads being like the main thing, like the ground is muddy and shit everywhere. People have laid planks down, but the roads are really like umbrellas that Bill and his people have set up to keep the rain from falling on you. And so they maintain this like tarp network that you can walk under. And I think that they're lit. I guess you can tell me, Ferris, like are there generators in certain places that keep these little like lanterns lit, or is there fire? Like how do we light the tarp ways?
Yeah, there are totally generators, and it's my job to deal with them.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
that's what I do for the town. I think it's another case of not even Princey is allowed with me to like the main generator room.
Sure.
Because, yeah, I don't think the generators run on gasoline here. Like that seems way too.
Yeah.
It's too easy. Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking like, yeah, weird like scavenged fusion power cells that even you maybe don't fully understand.
I was thinking it's a network of people around here, and we've seen that work a little bit already. Maybe there's some other stuff to kickstart it, but
I'm making a note on my
like
list.
The psychic energy of people being
people power,
ambient psychic energy, or ghosts of the dead power generators.
Yeah, I think
the dead power generators. I don't think Tynant would like that,
or would like it a lot, depending. Cool. Yeah. So there's some kind of like non-obvious like. So the lights would go out if everybody left, but there'd be nobody around to see them go out.
Yeah.
People power. Okay.
Yeah,
How does people power work? We'll figure it out.
It's a town, so
it's like it just makes me think of like the spaceship corridor where the light like goes on above you as you're like walking through, but otherwise doesn't. Like...
It's probably, without digging too much into it, there's probably, if we want to go the technical angle, there's probably some kind of like technology that was developed in the past before we lost everything that could detect the psychic presence of a person and would do shit like that, like open doors or turn on lights or advertise to you, right? Like, yeah, I like it. You got some kind of weird maelstrom.
Always nerps with you.
Yeah, but that's come on. People they make science so that they can either kill each other or nerps each other. So
I kind of like the idea that since it is a town, it has lights, right?
Yeah.
That follows. That is how that works.
Yeah,
and there's also stuff like there's a generator somewhere.
That's cool. I really like it.
I don't know how it's plugged in or what it's plugged into.
Cool. All right, so there's these little like electrical lights. Maybe outside. What are the lights like outside the bar? Outside Hit Me Up. Are we talking like Christmas lights? Big fucking floodlights over the door? Dice,
No,
what do you think? Like you and Ferris can figure this out.
I don't think it would be like too illuminated, you know, because the place is like
it does have shadows, right? It generates shadows as one of its things. Shadows, noise, and violence.
Yeah, it's kind of a dive, right? So like, I think the idea of there being like string lights is pretty cool, like over the sort of like lip of the like front, because I imagine there being sort of like almost like an awning, but like wood, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And like over that, there's probably like some like string lights or something.
Sure.
Yeah, they're like the Christmas lights, except they're all red.
Yeah. I also imagine there's like some kind of neon sign, but it's like all the letters are from different neon signs.
Is it just HMU, like in caps? Nice.
Yeah. HMU in caps.
They're all in different.
It's like an HMV sign, but without one of like.
Awesome. Yeah. So a hot pink HM, and then you've pulled a U from somewhere else.
Yeah.
Awesome. From like a U-Haul or something. Yeah. Exactly. So it's an orange U. Kind of matches. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. It's good.
I like it. So so you come outside and immediately like Princey pulls up his like plastic jacket hood. But you see sitting kind of near the door, you see a big shiny black motorcycle. Ferris. It's just kind of like parked in the mud. There's rain pooling on the seat, the leather of the seat, and it's in like just great shape. Like the chrome is all shiny and the black is this like really nice matte black, and the water is like beading on it in these like perfect patterns. I think it's steaming because it didn't arrive that long ago. It hasn't had time to cool, despite it being cold out.
Oh, I'm gonna touch it. I want to touch it.
You're just like,
I want it.
I want to touch it. Okay.
I'm
cool.
gonna read that fucking bike.
Yeah. So you want to go over to it? You start to go over to it, and Princey's like, "Ferris, we got to get out of here." And you just, I assume, just ignore him.
I was like, blah.
I hear you making noise. I don't care. Okay, yeah, I think he just like pulls his hands into his sleeves because he doesn't have gloves. He lost them a while ago. He pulls his hands into his sleeves and like tucks them under his arms and like follows you out into the rain to where the bike is.
Yeah, I think bikes speak.
Totally,
so let's make them speak.
I think Dice would probably agree with you. Okay, so you got a 9.
Okay, so that's God. I really wish I could make these boxes bigger. Oh, I can drag it. This is the best day ever.
I definitely agree. Bikes speak. Like Dice is a bike enthusiast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. On 79, ask 1. Who handled this last before me? Who made this? What strong emotions have most been recently near this? What words have been said most recently nearby this? What's been done most recently with this or to this? I'm gonna fix it. What strong emotions have been most recently nearby this? Let's get an insight into why.
So how does things speak work? Do you get an impression? Do you see visual like flashes? Do you hear sounds? What is that like?
I think it's like a mechanical readout, and it will say stuff like this model of motorbike modified in X way, Y way, and then it'll be like motor is blah 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 blah, and it'll just be like. Blah, blah, blah.
So we
kind
see
of like see that.
we see
over it.
things we see things through the like the view of your like weird gas mask.
Yeah. Maybe
So
it comes
cool.
up like, maybe it looks initially like it's part of like a really sophisticated heads-up display or something, but
Yeah.
like, the gas mask on as well.
I love that you can pick up emotion, like it's just a piece of data, like emotions felt near this device recently. So yeah, I think there's some kind of like a Kirlian like overlay that we see, like in Akira, that like weird like multicolored like sphere thing that they show when they're analyzing the psychic patterns. I think you get something like that. It's this kind of like pastel aura that like flickers around the thing.
That was good.
And the predominant feeling that has been felt around this thing of late, like recently, is fear. Not like anger or anything. It's just like fear. Someone rode this away from something frightening recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Princey, little friend. Hello, yes.
Yeah, and Ferris is just kind of like shifting back and forth and being like, "Come on, just don't touch. You're getting rain. Come on." Like, yeah, it's a great bike, but like, there's like the sound from inside is making him nervous, and he's just sure the whole place is gonna like explode any minute.
Hold on. What about her coming to you was making you scared? I think she was the scared one, if you ask me. Or this.
Yeah, and Princey just nods like, "Cool, man. Can we?" But you can examine the bike as long as you like. He'll wait. It's bluster.
No, Princey, listen to me. I've got what I need from this now. What's up? What do you know? Why do you know her?
He looks at the bike and looks at you and he says, it's one of Jeanette's gang. They shouldn't be here. Those people are dangerous."
Oh, if it's just okay, I thought there was something. I don't know. Anyway,
I thought there was something important that you were.
Yeah, I thought you were freaking out about something important.
yeah, not just biker gangs. Ooh. All right, yeah.
Ow.
Okay, yeah, no, let's go back to. Were you staying up at the thing with me, or you go?
Yeah, I guess that's the question. Does he? I mean, he's Bill's kid, right? And Bill, I think, doesn't pay a ton of attention. Bill has lots of kids. Bill doesn't pay a ton of attention to him. Does he? Yeah, does he stay with you? Is that a thing that you're okay with, or are you like, no, you don't get to stay with me. You got to go home.
Yeah, no, I've changed my mind. No, he definitely has to go home.
Okay.
Like, there's a possibility of like, it's a strange body. Nobody sees what's going on underneath.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. So he knows that. So he takes his tools, his bag of tools, and he tells you he'll see you tomorrow. Right? You got more work to do, so he'll meet you back here tomorrow. And he heads off under one of the tarps, happy to get out from the rain. And I think we see him leave, and he turns and looks over his shoulder like 3 or 4 times before he decides like, okay, I'm fully like out now, and then is gone. So meanwhile, inside.
I mean, if Tynant left, I probably would have like gone out the back and like trailed after him.
Yeah, Tynant, do you go out the front door? Like, do we cut to the door with you emerging, or?
Yeah, like the scene transition could be from Ferris's scene. You just hear the door, like, I imagine the door is being like loud and clunky, so it just like screeches open. There's like a metal on concrete or whatever, like scraping sound.
I almost imagine that the door is like one of those like saloon doors, but like there's also a gate that I can close, like a.
Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, I just like rattle out the.
Yeah, like chunk, 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 chunk.
Was it one of those like pull down like gates like they have in like jewelry stores or something?
Well,
like
I mean, like, you know, the security doors you see on like those stores that have like glass doors or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You like taken from one of those, like this sort of like metal.
Sure, and it's up now or out of the way now, right? So.
Yeah,
I've totally electrified it as well for you. So like you can press a button under the bar and it'll snapshot, and there are like spikes on the bottom of it as well. So if you get caught with it, you just like
love it. This is why you're my favorite person.
Okay, cool. So Tynan, we'll see you come out into the rain. We are due one more break, so let's take the break here, and then we'll see Tynan and Brace out in the rain outside when we get back.
Sweet deal.
Sound good? All right, cool. Stick around. We will be right back.